What if AI is so good at getting you a job that you've empowered it to maybe pad your resume a little bit, but then you find out that you can't do the job that AI told your boss you could, and then you get fired?
Whoops.
This is actually happening in the real world. Founder and CEO of Aleda is Matt Rosen, back on the live line, AI expert. Matt, thanks for doing this today.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on the show.
I mean, I think leaning into your resume and maybe overemphasizing your abilities is not new, but this is a different thing, isn't it?
It's completely different. You know, I've got about a 400-person consulting firm and we hire across the United States, Latin America, and India. And so we've been living with this since the get-go, and especially since AI made it easier to help candidates than ever. And, you know, we've had to develop a number of techniques and really change our interview process as the tools have adapted to make sure that people are who they say they are and do what they say they can do. And, you know, AI has made it easier for them. I'm not so much worried about the resume patterns. Like, we'll get to the bottom of that. It's when they use AI in a real live interview, which the article you read says that people are doing. We've seen it in real time where people are actually using AI to answer questions. And so if they show up, then they have no clue how to do the job because AI got them through the entire process. And that's something all employers need to be aware of and redesign their processes to account for.
Because, Matt, this could be some cost concern for companies as well. You go through the entire hiring training process, then to realize the person can't do it, and you're back at square one.
Yeah, it's super frustrating, especially when you put them out at a client site only to realize that they aren't who they say they are. And so we've had to develop, about a 10-step checklist that we train all of our recruiters on, as well as anyone who's interviewing on, to really be able to dig in and not only it really validate the resume, as well as just that the person is who they say they are and the references are who they say they are. Because it's pretty easy to set up a fake LinkedIn profile or fake your references or fake your way through an interview. And so it's really calling for a redesigning of the hiring and screening process of candidates.
It's like having an earpiece during a test, right? If you're in real time having AI answer questions for you. What if you're a small business, Matt? I mean, you don't have the resources to vet people like this.
Well, a big thing, if you're a small business, you should probably be having, if you can, people interview on site, if you can afford to have them there, especially if they're local. I think that's a big thing. A lot of major companies, even huge ones, are asking for at least one face-to-face interview. I know in this world of remote work, I think people get really comfortable hiring people everywhere, but if you're just over a screen, it's easier to fake who you are versus if you're sitting down in person, you can't. And also, as it pertains to AI, I think the workers of the future are going to be expected to use AI. It's not can you use it. It's like, what's your judgment for when and how you use it? And so if you're going to allow, if you want to test someone's AI proficiency, let them know that up front, but let them know where you expect them to use it or not use it. Set the ground rules so there's no question. And then there's some pretty easy ways to catch people who are using it during an interview. A big one is just asking about their personal experience doing something and then changing questions rapidly so they can't type it into ChatGPT or Claude fast enough to make it up on the fly.
Yeah.
And those are some of the skills we've had to train people on.
Here's my okay boomer question that actually my wife, when we were talking about this yesterday, brought up, and she's significantly younger than I am. What happened to integrity? What happened to teaching these kids that they've got to represent the truth in things like interviews?
Yeah, that's a great question. Unfortunately, COVID broke a lot of people, I think, and it has forced the market to rethink hiring. And I do feel like there's it's harder to get employment, and especially starting employment these days. And so, unfortunately, it's created some behaviors. I wouldn't say integrity is completely lost, but I would definitely say there are some practices that have developed both here and it's even worse around the globe, where people feel comfortable doing what they need to do to get by, and it's unfortunate. So all you can do as an employer is just recognize that's what it is, and look for the people that have the integrity, and they're out there. It just takes time to find them.
Matt Rosen is the founder and CEO of Aleda. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you. Have a great day.